In a world where there have been 8 movies made in the Alien franchise, Alien Covenant is one thing. Alien Covenant is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Michael Fassbender, Katherine, Billy Crudup, Danny McBride, and many others as the crew of a colony ship, Covenant, bound for a remote planet. On their way, they discover an uncharted paradise with a threat beyond their imagination and must attempt a harrowing escape. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, coming off of Prometheus, which I believe most people were at least disappointed by. I didn't expect very much from this film, especially since it had the same director. However, I found this film to be much more enjoyable than Prometheus. Is it the masterpiece that everybody wants? No. But there are some good things in it that I did find that I liked quite a lot. First of all, the visuals. This is a beautiful film. Ridley Scott does this very well. His movies are always very pretty. There are some gross out horror scenes in this film that had me on the edge of my seat and wincing. All of the actors do a fantastic job in this movie, especially Michael Fassbender. That man is a fantastic actor. He actually plays 2 different characters in this film. He plays 2 different identical androids named Walter and David. So let's face it, this is an alien movie. It's advertised as an alien movie. There really are no surprises, and most people are going to walk into this movie with the expectation that the majority of the characters are not going to make it out alive. Now this could work to the film's disadvantage if it pretends like people don't know what they're walking into the theater to see. However, the film seems to know that everybody else knows what it is. It seems to know that everybody else knows what's coming, and so the build-up to the point where the alien attacks and the infections finally start coming about, it's actually pretty intense, and I feel like the film capitalizes on the fact that the audience knows what's coming. The film takes an appropriate amount of time in the setup to get you to where the aliens actually come in. My heart was beating really fast the entire time because I was just, is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen now? When's it going to happen? So I didn't know. It took just the right amount of time. Not too long, but not too short either. I thought the pacing was very well done. Basically, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. This movie actually did a fairly good job of connecting Prometheus, which is the movie's predecessor, to the rest of the Alien franchise. Now don't get me wrong, there are still lots of plot holes and still lots of gaps that need to be filled in and still lots of answers to questions that we don't know yet. But some of that stuff was revealed in this movie. I'm not going to give anything away, but I personally enjoyed a lot of the smaller revelations and plot twists that we got in this film. In some ways, I think it added a lot of character depth to a standard alien movie plot. Now, let's get into some of the negatives. While this film is a very finely crafted sci-fi epic, it unfortunately does fall victim to a lot of the horror tropes that we see in most horror movies today. I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided. Once again, like in all horror movies and most alien movies, every character is just extremely dumb, and they make these horrible decisions that either leads to their death or the death of the people around them. It's ridiculous. Characters go off by themselves to use the bathroom, or are in a love scene, or are just generally unlikable, or if they don't have any personality, you just immediately know. Well, see how long it is until this character bites it. It's very predictable in that way, but I guess it's kind of a small complaint because after all, this is a horror film. However, it really does frustrate me when characters make dumb choices in movies like this. After all, these characters are supposed to be scientists and captains of spaceships. These people have protocols that they're supposed to follow on all these exploration missions to keep them safe and to make sure nobody gets infected or hurt. Nobody follows protocols in these movies. Characters are in certain scenarios and make certain decisions simply because the plot demands it. That's pretty much my biggest complaint with the film, is idiot characters. All other complaints I've heard about this movie are related to changes and revelations about the lore of the entire Alien franchise as a whole. Also related to maybe a disappointing answer to a question that was asked by Prometheus, or the fact that a lot of the questions we had from watching Prometheus still have yet to be answered. I'm a fairly casual fan of the Alien franchise. I like Alien, I like Aliens, the rest of them are okay at best. Some of them are pretty awful. That being said, the creative decisions made in this movie did not really bother me all that much. I found them to be a rather enjoyable way of further explaining the Alien universe. And even if you don't like some of the creative choices and decisions that were made, I don't think that you can call this a bad movie because of it. Let's say I don't like a certain artist's music. Because I don't like it, does that mean that I think they suck? No, I can acknowledge their talent without thinking that their music is horrible. It's not bad music, it just simply doesn't appeal to my tastes. And that's kind of how I feel about the way a lot of people are responding to this movie. It doesn't necessarily appeal to their tastes, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It combines beautiful visuals, frightening scenarios, mostly good characters, good acting, and several, in my opinion, unexpected and interesting plot twists. If it doesn't fit your tastes, that's one thing. However, for me, as a casual Alien fan, I liked Alien Covenant pretty well. So that's my review of Alien Covenant. What did you think about it? Make sure to comment with all your thoughts and opinions down below, and also make sure that you subscribe if you want to get my opinion on other movies in the future. I'll see you guys next time on the next